Blessing, good afternoon, and welcome to the Pastor Live that we don't post on social 87.9. Today is Saturday, today is the first day of October in the year 2025. It's good to be back on the field of weekend sport because to you, what is happening in Liberia? Football, what is expected to happen in the coming days, the coming hours, and all the coming years in Liberia? Because it's right here on Freedom 87.9 with me, the Bishop Dental School of Like this comes away. It's Saturday. This is where we talk nothing but because the business of Liberia as Nigerians and followers of children to call your input on the discussions of the day. We do it, we do it, like others. I mean, that's why we are like coming at this afternoon and some weekend school to Liberia. On the school station has finally released the picture for the 2025 after the nail and the which has been used for maybe second class to when the league will be pick up. But tomorrow's Sunday is for cup at the FTDC complex. In the early kicking off the women's division or category, the double champions becoming here again last season around Scotland, they about who has managed to bring in 12 additional players, local football workers to go against the incoming girls. What is expected to be a clash of titans in the launch for Cup. Then the conclusion of the day, on tomorrow, will be the big gun FC for sale, which is and the both teams are participating for continental activities. FC Pascal, who represented Liberia in the CAF Championship winner round, will struggle against their opponent, the Alger, on the 2-0 front on Warrior to Nigeria, will be against the Blackmail Warriors, who suffered a 4-1 aggregate elimination with the quarter of the league. So the two Liberian champions, FC Pascal and that of Blackmail Warriors, will be at the middle of the pack in the California tomorrow at 4 p.m. on Saturday for Cup. In front of me, the Nigeria Football Association Super Cup. The Super Cup occurs as they set the raise up to the commencement of the competition. So tomorrow, Nigerian fans will have the opportunity to see an FTV beginning at 1 p.m. to the kickoff between the double champions of women football in Nigeria and that of one girl who managed to bring in new players in of them to see if they can compete. Another thing to talk about this afternoon, the picture has been released already with new first 5 games of the team. But the opening day of the activities in the first, second, and that of the opening day practices between Faku and Fakari for Salino games, big clubs going against each other. Uh, let's start off with the second division activities. Opening day game will see traditional football this time, not at the quality of like football, but at the second division level when Matthew Bagos, Nigeria, most local Rican club on arguably Nigeria, most local Rican club in Matthew Bagos against one of Liberia's most welcomed clubs or we refer to them as the second most successful club in Nigeria football in this league that we are in. That means comes from on the 17th of October in the second division. So we're running through with three of the games in the first, the other one is that of what is happening or what is going to happen in the second division. But let's introduce you today. You playing coach to two like international physical coaches. As a matter of fact, one coaches in America, just put in Germany before then, will be the camp from a team like the company new the union will be starting well being this is international group that are what in the interest of players, make sure that players get the best of the contract and other stuff. So we invited the two of them. They will be our guests this afternoon. They they are people who will help them where they from their coaching career and their company about the launch Nigeria. Is it going to impact the football society, the sports sector of our country? So they are just this afternoon on the weekend. Let's also inform you that currently at the FKD complex in Kingsville, it is the coaches who are preparing. The Nigeria Coaches Association are having their meeting at the moment. Uh, the team coaches going your work and the important coaches in the development of football in Liberia. The Secretary General of the Liberia Coaches Association is Mr. Terry Cole. Let's see if we get Mr. Cole on the line. In 2 minutes, let's get giving us details for that program. You can so customer your one was the immediate creation just because of that program. But when I spoke with him this morning, he was shocked at the news that he was going to be just because at the program. So the Secretary General of the Liberia Football Coaches Association is Terry Cole. I'm trying to reach out to Mr. Cole. If Terry isn't picking up, then I can get from the first vice president of the Liberia Football Coaches Association, Emmanuel, the former Liberia Common coach, a senior tactician, someone who's over 6 months into jail, then has to become a coach back in Liberia. You want to figure it out? Yeah, yeah, back. Well, this year. Let's see if we can speak with you on the line. Let's get the details of the own goal. Why is it important? Why is the Liberian Football Coaching Association having a when we have to leave, especially pick up just in less than we say 53 or less than 53 hours? Because the Super Cup is about to Emmanuel Keke, Emmanuel, good afternoon. You are the weekend coach like a family to produce. Emmanuel Keke, okay, so let me see if I can reconnect with Emmanuel Keke. Uh, mm, mm, first vice president of Liberia because this because our coach is so active yeah, and actually they say whatever you position because often not if you want who are moving would be sometimes you connect with if there's no way let me will see that what you need for the music and have questions what is the then and the thing like you talk to my guest I talk to my guest who how they can or teach you about the how how going to five three five what was that's some with women it's something the double going to India to be against Akhlama, Shaka is the football club. Oh my, something like this. For the thing upper women with the higher and so down on 17th October, 6 p.m. at 2014. Flash, what will be an electric car in that of the both in after small rockers or with football live. Yes. So they need to Shaka into start games Chapa into becoming super into legend partners. They actually into professional top run of football with most of the clubs across the country. Chapa will include the small football club. And then conclude that partner with the first 5 games in the upper league struggle with both ends and their parties. That's the first part in for the England series. Dia come top contender, your team partner, time, as composed entirely local and take a team that is interested of unity for the first time in many years. This time the go against the team who is in event the party before 12 national players, 6 local, 6 foreign. One grand team opening their activities in opportunity on 17th on 17th of October against Sion Film. Imagine by 2 p.m. the things are still come to family when work needs a professional. You have been in one game professional is one part is system full work. One girl in so what is a girl again? So Sion Pro Sion Pro your foot and injured Sion Pro. So as we analyze just the pictures, uh, in our community, with the development in our community, the school or the professional study, a starter professional, starter professional, in very up people to one of the ways to win starter in the word is more sensitive and suggestion that is asking to most of the club were given. As part of what they used to talk in women that you are against that. It is not it. But then in the first division of the game to have the last championship for sure, the hoping that the teachers the defending that on October 19 when they play the last of Kevin Devin at the SPP participate so you call it the minutes of the SPP of the first part for the scenario to go against living up in will be a will give a club in that borrow club like use the borrow for club will host FC will be against this club and then give the football club with the first games for the division at the win. Another champion last season in fun, around Watanga Club way, begin the activities far away from Warriors and the travel 6 hours of the house to Nima. The matter of fact, every jump by the football club in Nima on October 4 p.m. at the benefit of 700 houses stadium compass in Nima. They couldn't be ready for the Super Cup beautiful income at the stadium, travel, dressing room, in total, yet to completed by the Football Association Hearing who are West Stadium. So what I'm featured cover for 4 p.m. Council, there was the event of the Ghana Club, the Ghana Club, with a big crackdown to answer by the Association. If case and cut come to an end, it becomes so Ghana Club is stepping into the club, they will hold Tanga. And then what be a way of trying to pay the owner city is the club. Tanga will give 4 million and then that means the 1 minute time as the pass on the or what on the when they go again this kind of club. So if you go this kind of dominate so it's something tough for them. And then in the second division, the right and yes, since the fourth or the fifth, Mari Bayo and in 11, Liberian separated club Paro in life, the Liberian for the second division was turned to the opportunity for the top city against North invisible second division. Uh, what about the women play at the both that powerful already get at the end of the full and the people. They are joining the top team is in for 2 1. With the fifth off, the one at the end of the is what is as a first off it was not a start control on the 17 of this picture will not only initiate one of like projects that collaborate, but it will also serve as a chapter two of like letting them determine the game their sport at the top of football in like and that's how we look in this picture so far. But the picture we don't understand the way through all of it was just few of the picture the first division, the second division, and the upper league. In case of FC, they are they will look our guest into the professional division. Liberia team boss team are currently Mali to participate in the one they are qualified. Good news insofar as the Liberian football system confirmed for time that all of the players come to aim our team. The aim our team is implementing a test that you must take before participating in one competition. Most especially this competition, Paco Junior, the tournament which on October 5 league Bamako uses our to verify elected in a court is recognized set by the Western football team and the country has been football camp. Liberia 22 is qualified in competition after years to five. That's it. That's it for me. Let's have a massive and some welcome to the tour.
Welcome back to the Freedom Weekend Sports on Freedom 87.9 right here with me, Thomas Bujo Rolak. This is what we do every Saturday. We talk nothing but a total sports in Liberia where we come, we discuss football, we discuss kickball, we discuss track and field, we discuss chess, and then we just talk to make Liberian sports look better, and we have to do it. One may say it is a new day for Liberian athletes. If it is successful, it will become a new day. Dominion Global Consultant Group is right there from Europe, from America, is right back in Liberia to help Liberian kids, Liberian athletes, be a footballer, be a basketballer, be a track athlete, or which sports you play across Liberia, you are about to benefit. We have two Liberian coaches who will tell us more about themselves. We have um, Madina Williams, I stand to be correct, a UFAB lesson soccer coach, chief executive officer, or let me say chief executive of technical affairs of her institution. She holds the UFAB lesson. And Naomi Williams is a co-founder of the Dominion Global Consulting Group, an international team dedicated to athletes, advocates group, sports, law, and fair representations. They are our guests on the weekend. Let me cross over to them. I start on with Naomi Williams. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having us.
Yes, I'm from the
Good afternoon. We'd like to say thank you for having us in this studio.
Hi, hello. We're very happy to be here to discuss something that we find very important, not just to us, but to Liberia as a whole. The Liberian helping group that were birthed out of a need to make sure that every Liberian was a football player, soccer player, basketball player, whatever you do in regards to sports, that your signature is worth your. And
Okay. Did I get? Yeah.
yes,
Definitely.
it's like Linda Williams. And
Okay. So on the 2 minutes, the two of you, let's know who the public want to know exactly who is talking that with a brief profile of you. Yeah, yeah, from Miss Williams. That's not for me.
So Linda, as I said before, I was born here in Liberia, but migrated to America at a young age. And, my father played football, my brother he was playing football. So the love of football has always been in the family. So what happened was when I had my own children, I also played in college, and football opened doors for me as far as education. I got a football scholarship, and I went there when I had my child. So I also pretty much gave them or put them into football, and it just kept on going to the point where football I've been travel all over the world with my son because he plays my sons, and so we had a team in America. We had our own club, and when I went to Europe, I decided that I wanted to continue football, and just for the future. And so I got my UEFA B license, which was a little bit difficult, but I did it, and I really didn't understand where it was going to go. But now I have my UEFA B license and being able to see Liberia as a whole, and I feel like that I'm able to make certain an impact using my history of football.
Okay. Madam Williams.
Yes, my name is Naomi, also a Liberian. And we left like in 1990 before the war started. But football has been our passion, and especially in the field of women. For the longest time, it was men who were allowed to play. Now, women have come on the scene, and my family has been, she said, big football. All of our nephews, our family, football put us through college. It has allowed us to explore the world, and it has strengthened us in certain things, whether it is adversities or whatever. People look at football as just a sport, but it is not a sport. When you are with the right coaches and in the right environment, it teaches you basics that you're going to need in life: how to overcome, how to be determined, how to be disciplined. So we saw all of these things, and we've been coming back and forth to Liberia because her kids have been playing here as well. And we want to be able to implement that not just for the women football, but also for athletes all across the board.
So then let me start with you. The what is the connection between both of you with Liberian at the moment?
Currently, we are both co-owners of World Girls FC.
Okay.
We were both two co-founders, and from what we have seen, the girls are talented. Raw talent. We want to be able to give them a bigger platform. Across. I'm from America. I still feel with connections. She Germany, Europe. She has connections, and we know that our players in Liberia as a whole are very, very talented. So we want them to be able to have a platform for the talent to be seen, for the passion to be developed, and also all the different aspects of all that we have seen in sports. We want them to be able to have not just a platform, but also for their work to be noticed. For players, because right now in like they use it as supporting their family or getting situations. You can see Jordan, the best examples of the Liberia who use football to elevate himself, his family, and his country's success. So we want all of our players to have that ability, and we want to make sure that the contracts reflect that.
And let me hear from you. The both of you are working with Walker, one of the top female person in Liberia. Since you people joined in relationship, how many people know women football in Liberia?
So I think women's football is at the brink of something exceptional.
Okay.
But I feel that there has to be more of an emphasis of integrating people coming from out of the diaspora into the Liberian atmosphere. As women, we have to encourage each other, we have to promote each other because we're always at a disadvantage.
Okay.
So coming into World Girls FC, the players met us with, exuberance. Like they were happy to meet us, they were happy to talk to us, they were happy that we were there. but we are women. So there was some resistance, which is understandable as a female coach. Everybody is territorial of their space.
Okay.
But we're happy to say that, with the backing of our co-owner Eddie Kingston, the backing of our other co-owner Lamine, that we're able to establish a workmanship with our president Mullen and with the coach from Batamata D that is conducive to the success of the whole entire team.
Okay, so I kick off activities now with why we are here. Let's know more about this group. Fire battle. Let's know the history.
So Dominion Global Consulting was pretty much formed in her house.
Okay.
As
In
you
Miss
said,
Williams.
yes, in Miss
Okay.
One, New Jersey.
We're
Okay.
sisters.
Sisters.
Okay.
So I have two kids, like you said. My older son, Matisse, he played for the national team.
Your son played for Liberia.
Yes,
The national team.
he played for the youth national team, and
Where
that
is
was
he?
his name. Where is he right now?
The name. What is
His name is Mateus Kolanda.
where is he?
Right now, he is in Europe. He's playing there, and it was all thanks to the LFA.
He plays in Germany.
Yeah. So yes, he's playing in Germany. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And my other son also plays in Germany, and he was part of the U17 national team. And it was all, big thanks to the LFA. The LFA is doing a really good job in locating outside players and bringing them in and giving them an opportunity to represent and give back to their community. So after they came and we saw it, when she saw certain players play, we started to think about how can we help improve the overall um, play getting paid what they are worth. Because when our kids came up, they talked about the conditions of the players that they saw.
Okay.
They talked about the players that the LFA gave them and how these players were like holding onto it, like gripping onto it. And so my son was like, they act like, aren't they playing also in the league in Liberia? Don't they get paid? So that comment that you made us have to research and start to think.
What's the comment?
The comment would say that the way the players were like so eager for the money that the LFA had given them, I think it was like 200 or 300 US dollars. He said, it made him wonder, why they so eager for this money, why this money is so important to them. Don't they get paid in their regular leagues? So then we started thinking, how much do these players really get paid? And then so when we started doing research and talking to other people, we found out that some of these players, what they are making is not equivalent to their value or what they're bringing to these teams. So that struck a chord with us, and we decided that we wanted to review contracts. We wanted to go over different contracts and see. We got the opportunity in some clubs, which were really nice, to let us look at certain contracts. And we saw, different things that did not follow FA, FIFA rules and regulations, did not follow LFA contract rules and regulations. And so then that inspired us saying, you know what, if we cannot go directly and coach in Liberia right now out of the diaspora, what we can do is we can impact change by making sure that these players, whether they're football players, they are coaches, that their contract represents their work.
Let me hear from Miss Williams. Tell us about this. Why you people go to that actually involved? She talk about players contracts.
Um, it is not just contracts because there's a saying when you change the mind, you change the behavior. So we're gonna not just to have units for coaches to come and see and put certain things out, certain red flags that they should be looking at when they see things like automatic renewal. That is something that should become alerted about, find out more in detail about it.
The probably along when you see automatic renewal contract. Somebody listening that also call
Okay, so automatic renewal is every year the player is contracted maybe for a year, maybe for 2 years, sometimes 6 months. When that contract is up, you do not go to the club and say, I want to renegotiate my contract or my contract is up and let's discuss it, or I want to exit elsewhere. The contract automatically becomes renewed. So if it's reinstated, for you to be there with that club for how long it's stated on the contract. So these are things that we want to have our players be responsible also for them. They're looking over their own contract because it's empowering players. It is empowering the coaches, to say, okay, my contract is coming, keep record of it so I can know which one to have that conversation.
have you had a sit down with over the association of some of the clubs, administrators, or owners, some of the players, like Were you in deep? What are you talking about?
We have some contracts, yes, and those are some of the things that was unwanted to us as far as, for example, let's say a food stipend was one. So some people get $30, some people get $20, and me being in Liberia right now, I'm not surviving on $40 a month. So this is something that we want our players there to have a voice and say, this is what I want on. I don't think this is right. And as Dominion Global, we step in to make sure we advocate for the next contract or whatever it is.
So are you telling me before the player sign a contract, you guys review the contract horribly? I'm sure. But there's a clause of the football association came up with a value
Mhm.
that a club can pay their player. We know, what I do know, if you are in the second division, your club pay less than 5,000.
Mhm.
You should be paying 5,000.
Mhm.
If you are in the first division,
Mhm.
according to the football association, you pay 10,000.
Mhm.
10,000, which is around 50 euros. Second division is like this. So have
Mhm.
you guys taken some such into consideration?
So it is great to follow the LFA standards and rules and regulations, but the implication of them is problematic because the LFA doesn't have the bandwidth to look at every single contract, look at every single club. Because how many clubs are there in Liberia?
We have over for the two clubs.
Okay, so they don't have
Different
the,
clubs. How about women's league?
exactly, and then now include don't only include women. So if you include the men's league, what is the total number of clubs?
We're going to be around 40 clubs. Go ahead, to make the calculation.
Exactly. So the LFA does not have the bandwidth to go and make sure every single football club is following those rules and regulations, right? But we have that bandwidth. So what we would do is we would go with the different clubs that we would partner up with, because the partnership with the clubs and the players, and make sure that when these contracts are made, that they're enforced, that they enforce those rules and regulations that saying, okay, in this division, this person should be making this much. Because what we also find is that some clubs, what they do is they have two contracts. They
Oh,
have one contract.
just a short time when you have on clubs are happy.
Yes, some of them, not all. We don't want to put all the
Hey,
clubs
what
in
do
the
you
same.
know? Some of the clubs are dealing with double standard.
Yeah, exactly. And so they have two contracts. They have the contract that they submit to the player and the player signs, and then they have the contract that they submit to the LFA. So the LFA has a lot of work to do. They have different things going on, and this is where we come in because then we go forward. We have that time. We look at the contract, make sure that the contract that is submitted to the LFA is the actual contract that our client or the player has signed, whether they are a coach or just a regular football player that they have signed and submitted. Do you know what I'm saying? So that way, we're helping the LFA rules and regulations continue to be implemented in the right way.
Okay. And Ms. Williams, let's hear from you for protecting the coaches. Let's hear for you about the medical aspect of the players. How are they going to benefit from the medical aspect?
So from the aspect now, those aspects that can also be implemented into the contract. So right now, because a player's body is,
Okay.
if the tool is broken, you no longer use it. So you want players to be healthy. You want to educate them about things that they should eat. Even sleeping, we take it for granted, but sleeping is extremely important because when you sleep, your body has time to recover. So, and then if a player gets hurt and they might need proper treatment, we were talking about this yesterday in regards to the health care or the health insurance, where players are insured only during the season for practices and for games. We want contracts to reflect better than that because, as I said, the injuries are long lasting, the games are short lived. So you can play within a season, but the injury that you incurred can last you a lifetime. I'm proof of it.
On yesterday, you spoke with me, you talked about having a different formula for international players. Player who call foreign players, who comes and play in the that are local. Give us details. What do you mean by that?
So we have all the countries that come from places like Nigeria, Senegal, so the different places, and as they're coming, they're international players. So their living environment, to take a look at that. Because food, like I was telling you, they need to be healthy when they eat. When they get injured, you need to be able to have a doctor on call to take them to. And we're talking about $100 a month. An international player is not going to be able to survive on that. You're gonna have to step in and try to do better. And this is why we, global, we're gonna try to renegotiate or negotiate better for those players. coming in.
If that's the chance today to go and negotiate on behalf to play for one girls or local club, what will you not consider?
We're going to ask you, are you looking?
I mean, what we were gonna, what we were gonna do, we're gonna review the contract to make sure to and write down the basic standards for and I think that's where we have to start. And then after we make sure that the contract meets the basic, requirements reflected in the LFA, and then we go. All
Give
right.
us, give us the FIFA requirements of the club.
I mean, the requirement, one of the requirements is $40 for a fixed up in a month. It's not, it doesn't meet that requirement. The automatic that it's put in a lot of contracts is against FIFA rules and regulations. The fact that the player is being covered for practices and games. If I'm not mistaken, some of those things are against FIFA regulations. The term how long a player can be signed for, a lot of people are taking advantage of that. You have some players who are 15, 16, 17, and these clubs are signing them for 10 years. That is against FIFA rules and regulations. You know what I mean? And it's against the LFA rules, but because there's nobody there to teach them, and a lot of times they lure them with money, and they know the players are in need or their families are in need, they take advantage of them in that aspect. So all those things are, against FIFA rules and regulations. You cannot have a player signed. I think there's one female club that has a player that is signed for 7 years,
7 years.
7 years or more, and that's not right. That's again, that is limiting the player's ability to expand. That is stopping the player's progress, and all those things. And what they have to understand that these players who are playing football, they're playing for their lives. Like this is their future. They have dreams and aspirations. And if you, as a club, you cannot limit that for your own profit and then not give them to them according in their wages.
Okay, this is just one aspect of it. Is what we are discussing solely as in about football. You say this is going to cover sports. Football is not the only sports. We have basketball, we have lawn
Tennis,
tennis, we have cricket, we say chess and other sports. How do you intend to work with them? How do you intend to cover them in the process?
uh, it's not only soccer or football, as we want to call it. Any athlete can come to us with their contract and say, "Can you? I would like to be your client. Can you review it? Tell me, what are my rights? What things I should be looking for? What things I should have looked for?" Coaches can come and do the same thing if the contract is being renewed or if we into a new contract. Can you guys go through this and make some rules and regulations? Because I don't carry twisted or turn it. We all have to look at the LFA, which is the Liberia Association. We have to look at WAFU, we have to look at FIFA, and whatever organization covers basketball, covers chess, covers tennis. We look at those rules and regulations to make sure that those rules and regulations are and those guidelines are reflected in the contracts that these players, athletes, or whatever sport are signing. And if it's not, then we teach them and educate them also. And then we go out the drawing board with the clubs.
You made me yesterday that someone took for you to achieve your work, you must be on the ground.
Mhm.
Do you think with all of these people are saying it can be achieved? Those things are achievable like this with the way clubs are running to them. There's a leg of clubs who they play for 4, 5, 6 months and players just play.
You know, the thing is, now with technology, connection is limitless. I mean, so what we're going to be working with, we'll be working with contracts, and we will have an office here where you come in to a Zoom meeting with them, be somebody to do intake, to do the initial intake, find out the problems, the issues, we'll fill out forms, and then that will be submitted to us. And then we also intend to work with local professionals at the ground level and internationally to make sure that it's a smooth sailing. So we feel that with technology and with the people we already have in place and the organization and the help of the LFA, that even though we're in Germany and she's in America, this is still doable because at the end of the day, we want to empower Liberians, the athletic portion of Liberia wants to empower them. And empowering somebody, you don't have to be face to face with them. You know what I mean? It's the word, it is the action you take behind the scene, and we feel that we can push. And we will also be coming back and forth intermediate relations on her the verge of moving down here right now. So there will be somebody on ground all the time. There will always be a person that they can talk to face, that they can express themselves to, their grievances, things like that. But we will also be out of the diaspora and working there also.
Okay, and I also want to know what the players stand to benefit. Do you have a game where players the top of the best people, 5 performing players of the season will transition Monrovia or from Liberia to another, you have plenty of fish.
That is our greatest aspiration,
Okay.
to be able to open the door for Liberians, because we are talented. Liberians are talented. We are brilliant people. We are just underserved. To be able to open the door for them to transition to Germany, to America, because we have talents, to be able to showcase themselves, it speaks volumes, because what they're doing is they're not only creating a doorway for themselves, but they're opening a doorway and reaching
Other
back for other
Liberians.
Liberians to come through. So one of the, this is also our driving force, that we want to target those players who we think are exceptional, and we want to link them up with people in Europe, teams. I live in Germany. I have a house. They can come and stay with me. So therefore, that would eliminate the whole need for them to be able to pay for housing. The only issue that would probably is the tickets, and then they can come. I have, even if it's not a Division One team, a Bundesliga team that they're coming to, if we have connections with, Tier 4 teams, Tier 3 teams that they can go and they can try out for 2 or 3 days, and if they're taken, that is that would be, the best for us to see them, evolve, move forward, and to let Liberians know that, listen, football is not a game. Football is a passport. I'm saying this, and I want every Liberian football player to listen to this. Football that you're playing, that you're kicking around, is a passport to the international world. It is an opening for you to travel, to educate yourself, to reach back, to promote yourself. It is an opening. It's a new level of life. So don't take it for a joke. Continue to practice, continue to focus, because it can so put you to new heights, different levels. I went to a football scholarship. My parents didn't pay anything. I ended up in Italy because my son was football. He went to one of the best schools, never paid a dime because of football. I'm in Germany now because of my children, because of football. We're about to go to Switzerland or Austria because of the same football. So football is your passport, and you control it yourself. You have all the power in regards to that. So for us to take a player overseas, that is one of the things that we are fighting for.
Yeah. You know, I only,
Yes, and not only just for that aspect that you talk about taking overseas, but it's the doorway to the education.
Yes.
okay.
Because we firmly believe that even when we have in the US, you are a student before you're an athlete. So for those that are young and are able to go to greener pastures, as we will say it, use football as a stepping stone to go to college, because we have connections also in the US where our friends coaching D1, D3, like, do you guys know any football players, or can scout from the country and bring them here? So that's another way to get the education. And the education is one thing that can never be taken away from the football career is over. The education that you're going to get is what you're going to use to support yourself, to support your family. That's the knowledge that you can take, and you got all of that through football.
Okay. This is a great idea, but I'm looking at the supportive arm of it. Before I ask you for, is it going to be a free program that I can work to? Or will be a paid registration? I think it'll be a good.
We're going to have a pathway as well. And as far as finance, or so on and so forth, just like every other contract, there are limitations. And of course, we're going to follow the rules and regulations of FIFA, eligibility cap, no law firm. And just us ourselves knowing what we have to do, knowing what it takes, that's we will be able to set up a registration that anybody can help. And for those who cannot afford it, yes, we will be able to help them. And once the contracts have been settled and cleared, then we can go about paying us if that's what is needed. So right now, we don't really need money. We just need players to trust us.
That's the thing. If the kids are going to give you the opportunity, we're going to put it through where we're going to have influx of people coming. And we don't have to start, but I want to, what is the key people have set up to?
Good. So right now, and this is what we came. We came to Liberia to kind of feel things out, because we really don't know what is the limit, or the middle ground of what people can and cannot afford. So we're still in the process of coming to a conclusion on that, on what we can set as a fee going forward. What would be, the percentage that we charge for those people who are not able to pay that initial fee. And so when we come to that, then we will put more.
The two of you are able, especially being the challenge
or challenges are just example. Financially, where the market comes from financially to ensure that it will become a process. Years and years. So please break down years in a year.
Well, right now, there are all financial background, but we also have a very strong family support. Just when we start our club in the U.S., people want to see that you're made an effort in what you're producing. So, for example, in the U.S., when I had a soccer club, we started with $500. And it was somebody that believed it was the belief they saw your capability of training. So more and more people start to invest in it. With this kind of program, it's a word of so you get the first client, they can be our word of mouth going forward. Because now when we have been able to help them, they're not able to go talk to other people and say, oh, this company helped me, maybe they can help you. So in the beginning, it's not so much about financial backing, like she said before. It's about just having access for our players or clients to have access to a computer or have access to a phone, which everybody do right now. Like like I said, the babies have access to phones, and once they're able to reach out to us, we will start the process from there.
Before I go to the line and start to interact with the callers, so how do people start on a program to officially launch this program in Monrovia?
So we're looking at October 20th as our official launch date.
20th of October?
The 20th of October as our official launch date.
It's, well, decentralization is of concern. There are some kids who play better in grassroots football, they in County, they in Riverside, they in Baku, they do not have the opportunity of coming in Monrovia to form part of this process. Do you have to decentralize this, to take it from Monrovia to other countries or other cities?
So once again, we talk about thank you for technology, and like you said, everybody has a phone. So what we will do is we will leave a phone number that you can call to reach us, emails that they can email us, so we're in direct contact with them, and they're able to get us a copy of their contract, which is the most important thing. We will look over it. We will send them the paperwork that we need them to fill out and the process they have to go through, and then we will start working on that. So the issue with this is this process is so very simple, right? Because of technology. So all they need to do is we send them paperwork, we give them the email address, they forward us, they write to us, we ask them certain questions, they fill out the intake sheet, and then based on those questions, we tell them what we can do for them. They send us their contract, we review their contract, they sign with us as we are their representatives as far as negotiation, and then we move forward like that.
Okay. It is time to go to the line to interact with you. Our callers who have been following, we have two distinct Liberian coaches from Germany and the United States of America. They have a program, a company they're about to launch in Liberia, known as the Union Global Consulting Group, which is an international sports consulting firm focused on athletes, advocates, sports law, and player representations. They explain to us more about the program. So go to the line, interact with this person. Good afternoon, how are you, Jonathan?
Yeah, but I'm going to
Yeah, go ahead. Good afternoon.
Yeah, I just want to say, this was a real cool, I want to appreciate one of
Okay, thank you. Call us on 0776-104-104, 0776-104-104, 0 to take part in the phone call you live on the program, the Freedom Weekend Sports, to play host to two doing international female coaches who are back in the country, have come with a program, they have come with a company about watching Liberia, they have athletes, they have footballers, basketballers, there are some great and kids who are playing basketball, but they do not have decent contract. They about to launch a program where they give the opportunity to do youth. You're not going to sit here and be playing the beginning of $40. I mean, what you going yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, welcome. Welcome. Okay. Okay. Your response. Thank you. Call us on 0776 07761041040 086 500 will live right here on the weekend sports with me, supposed to do roll up. Freedom comes away every Saturday. Like I just nothing idea. Oh my word. I look at this conscious straight. Call us on 061041040 will be live right here on the Freedom Weekend Sports. Freedom is nothing for us. Let's think that this is what we can support. Look at this person right here. Hello,
Hello, sir.
I'm doing good. Janina, where are you coming from?
For some reason, I'm calling you from the other term.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, well, the discussion that is going on, I had a talk in the radio and then they come to one church recommended for me.
Okay.
Yeah, but then we need to get connected with people like that. It's really something you can do for small things.
Okay.
I'm saying how to get in contact with people like that so they able to help me. Yeah, that's why you ask the question is the difference of how to give you people help.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me go. It seems to be close to the time of let me just call us. Somebody has come to ask a question that let me speak to this person. Right. Come again? Go ahead.
Yeah, you know what? Hold on. People can get
Hold on. Okay, let me speak to the last person. Janina, wait. You are fun of go ahead. Uh, okay. Thank you. Let me speak to the very last and it was Janina, wait. Janina, wait. Yeah, my last one. For the past okay. And call on call me. Listen to somebody question. Just just connect. We taking prayer as we spoke about that and we have to connect with prayer. Two other person who talk no, we have that capacity. We have some of the Liberian scholars, basketball, player. And the parents not have to think. We do have to look at.
Yes, that is one of our plans. I did have a friend who is from Germany. He did reach out to me to ask me if we could host a tournament showcase ID talent journey here in Liberia, where he will bring coaches from overseas to scout these players. That I'm talking to the FA about it. That is done. We will put out a local broadcast to let parents know who feel that their kids are at that level, that they can bring their kids, and it will be a 3-day showcase. And I will give them more details about the date, the time, and the ages, and they can go through that. So that is maybe an option for them.
Do we do you have a look at them now? Because more people want to know one thing.
So
US number and 2 local numbers.
The US number. Excuse me. Those of you who want to contact them locally, call on 0775 49 49 41 37 0775 49 41 37 0882 31 44 93. Also, like by WhatsApp, you can call them on 069 50 3479. Definitely. We'll get back to you.
I guess my big thing to all the parents and the players, but the coaches, do not sign anything you do not understand. And signing, if you go over your contract with the agent or with the club and send it to them, when they send you it back to sign, make sure you review it again, just to make sure that what you ask them for is actually written in the contract. Do your due diligence, which means your part. In LFA, you can go to them and ask them for a copy of your contract if you did not receive one from your club, which you're supposed to receive one. And just remember that you guys are brilliant athletes and that you have a right to fair wages based on your value of what you put into these clubs.
Miss Williams, I just put
Just the broad trust. Also, the coach because not to give up. There's always a way out. Our Liberian athletes always carry the gift and the talent, and they carry the passion, and now they just need protection that matches their potential. And that is why we are here. We do our best, even to help parents that do not have the financial backing to be able to help the kids they see. For those that are already professional players, we will review your contracts. Our coaches will review your contracts, and we will move forward from there.
thank you. Hope that you will retire. We hope that it is time to success. Until then, if this is weekend sports, if this is how we love to focus on today's presentation. I'll catch you next Saturday, God's willing. I'll be on the Wednesday to continue on buying what. And on what is happening today, Arsenal versus West Ham, kick off already, Manchester United versus Sunderland, and the late kickoff in the English Premier League is going to be Chelsea versus Liverpool. And it's been Real Madrid versus Villarreal. Let's go home. Some weekend. But then, so much for good. Have yourself a pleasant Saturday. From across. Bye bye.